Hey there, I'm Christopher McClure from Homeless Geeks, and this is Meditation Happy Hour. Happens every Friday around 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and it's where I share meditations or processes, um, or perspectives, both traditional and modern. Today, I'm going to be uh, sharing about what I call the ancient Enneagram solutions. And so the Enneagram is a geometric figure that was introduced to the West by Gurdjieff, and but it was uh, used for the way that it's known to most people is as a typology system. And what I'm presenting today is the use of the Enneagram as much more than a typology system. So if you're familiar with it as a typology system, you can have that kind of operating in the back of your mind, but really kind of be open to uh, a different way of using it. It's really it's I see it as the 9 points are basically faces of God, or facets of universal consciousness. And whether that applies to typology or to any topic, it's the same energies, but the application is different, so it could look very different. So why use the Enneagram in this way? Basically it's because it's a way of organizing thinking. It's like if you think of a topic and then you start listing the components, and then you arrange those components in a way that has meaning, then you've created a holistic way of thinking or perspective regarding that topic. And like I said, it's like in this arranging, in this organizing, you're discovering the relationship between these different aspects of a given topic. And in that process, a theme may arise. In that process, meaning, different layers of meaning can arise. And essentially, what you're doing is you're approaching the holistic perspective regarding this topic. So I'm going to share my screen, and so that you can see the chart that I've made for this. Let's just go here. So if you're familiar with the Enneagram, you can see the circle, the triangle, and these inner lines right here, falling right here. Right, this is the typical Enneagram. And I put in some extra lines here according to certain ways of organizing information. So let's start with point one. And so there's 9 points, and 3 of them are on this triangle. So in a way, this triangle is like the it relates more to the archetypal aspects of whatever topic you're investigating. It's like somehow those aspects, 3 aspects, are more essential. And then you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other sub aspects. So that this is this first way of looking at it. So, you can have a topic and you can, list 9 different aspects, and 3 of those are going to be more foundational, and so that's one way of organizing information using this. And this is an overview, just an aside. This is an overview, and to really get us, I've been doing this for years, so to really get a sense of doing this, you would need to either have some coaching from me, or I'm planning to put out a course regarding this. And if you're interested in any of that deeper work, you can get in touch with me regarding that. The second way of organizing it is that you've got, once again, you've got the 3 major kind of aspects of a topic, but then you've got these pairs. You've got 1 and 2, you've got 4 and 5, and you've got 7 and 8. So these pairs, of course, they're pairs because they relate. There's something common about those. And one way of looking at the Enneagram is that this side of the triangle is self. This side is, or you could say it's personal. This side is transpersonal, and this side is universal. So then those pairs, these 2 pairs of these sub aspects could be, the personal aspects regarding a topic. And then these 2 would be the transpersonal aspects, and these would be the universal aspects regarding the topic. So then we have 4.4, which is 3, 3, and 3. And actually, I should have put in some lines, and maybe I'll do that right now. So with regarding this, so we have the main triangle, right? So that's a group of 3. But if you actually look at the way the Enneagram is laid out, this, starting with this is the apex of that triangle. But if you look at this, point 1 is the apex of a triangle. Then you've got a triangle right here. And I'll go ahead and let's see if I can do this without any difficulty. So if I oh, I see why that didn't work. Okay, so I'm going to go back here. Sorry for the so we're going to try this once again. Okay, one more try here. Okay, so you can see, and let me just okay, you can see there's another triangle here. We've got this triangle, and we've got this triangle, right? Now, if we look at the 2 as the apex of a triangle, then we've actually got another triangle here, and I'll go ahead and put in a line for that. So let's just make sure this is cleared. Okay, so now we have, let me just save this. So now we have this triangle, and this triangle. So in this way of organizing knowledge, there's actually 3 groups of 3, right? There's 3 aspects that are actually related to each other, 3 other aspects that are related to each other, and then 3 other. So that's another way of organizing information here. And just an aside, the organization that happens, with this can be a combination of these different methods that I'm showing you. Okay, so with this at point 5, with this I'm pulling it 1 plus 2 plus 1, 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2, is kind of like what I was describing before, that with the personal, transpersonal, and universal, in that this point here is sort of, it's sort of naming a category, and in that category there's two pairs of sub-aspects that relate to that category. And then this point 3 is another category, and then these 2 points are sub-aspects of that category. Point 6 is another category, and these 2 points are aspects of that category. All right, so then we have that we can use. You can see that this is a circle, and there's a progression, right? It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And actually, I just thought of another aspect that I did not include in here, and I'm going to actually put that under circles, because it's kind of related. So I'm just going to type in here. It's called the inner lines. So, and I'll talk about that in just a minute, and save this to for posterity's sake. And so, with the circle idea, well, you can just have, these 9 aspects, and they can actually be successive. There could be a chronology, that it's moving from past through present to future. I just did a life story, my life story, based on that, that there's actually chronology of events here. And but then, like I was saying before, that you can be combining methods, so you can have 3 major aspects. And I just thought of another one. Another, yeah. Another aspect that can be included here, and I will just write that in, and then get back to what we were talking about. So like I was saying, you could be doing a chronology, but then, it's organized in a way so that these points are actually, major points in in that sequence. They're a lot sort of like, and that's why I thought of this. It's that these are seen as shock points. It's like you start with a vision, but then there's something that happens at point, and you start to go through the process, but there's something that happens at point 3, which is either something changes inside of you, or something comes from the outside and changes you. And so, what Gurdjieff taught about processes, about manifestation, is that if you start with a vision and you just go forward and you keep going forward, that will, just the nature of reality is that you won't even though you're staying on what you consider you're staying on course, you will actually deviate. And so these shock points are actually very important to actually keep you on track, because the nature of reality, maybe you could see it as being circular. So if you think you're moving in a straight line, you actually, if you move in a straight line, you keep moving, you're going to be going out here. You're not going to be ending up, at your goal, the vision, so these shock points, they actually move you, inadvertently, they move you in the direction you want to be going. they take into account the nature of reality. And then inner lines, there is a sequencing that happens when you divide 1 by 7. You get a number that repeats, and it's 1. I'm trying to remember which direction it goes. I believe it's 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7, and then back to 1. Let me just verify that right now on my phone. Just going to a calculator. If I go 1 divided by 7 equals, yes, that's correct. It goes, is 1 divided by 7 is 0.142857, and then it goes to 9, right? So it's 0.142857. And that's because the Enneagram is based on 2 laws of the universe, the law of 3 and the law of 7, which is that you have these, let's just say that the law of 7 is baked into the Enneagram. So then you don't only have this order of succession, you have this order of succession. So say you have a vision and you do the first step, and actually what needs to happen for you to get to point 2 is you need to go to point 4, or at least you need to check in with the energy of that point, and that will actually get you back to 7. And then so that's the way the inner lines work. And then you need to go to 8 to get to point. These inner lines give you insight into how to move to the next point along the side of the circle, along the circumference of the circle. Okay, so the last way of organizing the information here is pairs. That you can see that there's like a mirroring effect. Like this is they call this they call it the ring composition, and this is how stories have been created for thousands of years, which is that there's a symmetry, right? You start and then you move, and and if you've investigated story structure at all, there's like first plot point. What do they call them? The plot points. Can't remember the other name, but there's these six these points along this side of the circle that mirror. So as you come back around, these points are there's a symmetry between them. They mirror each other, so that you can have one central idea for a topic, but then there's 4 pairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, that these they mirror across. And this dividing line can be the nature of any kind of creation, any kind of manifestation, is that it's in duality. There's a dichotomy. It's masculine, feminine, light, dark, inner, outer, past, future, so that this divides the circle in half, and these points they're mirrors. They mirror each other. So that's the basic idea here. You can see perhaps you can see the potential of this of the Enneagram in the way of organizing information. It's there's also something about that's said about the Enneagram, that there's the outer meaning, and then there's the inner meaning, and then there's the secret meaning. And I think as you work an idea through on the Enneagram, there's the ostensible components of it, but then as you start to put them, in the right places in relationship to each other, an inner meaning starts to unfold, or a theme starts to unfold. And but then there's, because of these shock points, and because things do not end up the way that they begin, there's this secret meaning. It's something comes out of it that you may not even realize until later. um, so basically this there's three main sort of benefits of using the ancient Enneagram. I call it the ancient Enneagram because it's what came before the typology system that's so prevalent today. So the ancient, the it's like I said, it's a way for developing your thinking. It's like if you have it, there's a topic you want to know about. um, you either start thinking, if you're a self-referential kind of person, you start thinking about the different aspects, and but if you're not, you might go out and do search on the internet, and get, like, what are the components of this particular topic, and you would put those, and and then you would range them, and it would organize your thinking about it. And so so then you could, uh, be able to, from that, you'd be able to write and speak, um, about the topic, like what I'm doing now. Is like organize this information, so that I can speak about it, make a video, or write a song, or create images, or a video script, or write a book, or and the other advantage that it has is that it becomes like a memory palace, right? Because these points, they're archetypal. They're in that there's a, this, the one energy is there's something about the one energy, is something about the two energy, and and the three, and all the way around. And but not even talking about these different how these different how when these numbers are looked at in different ways, they become different energies also. um, but there's what this has become for me. This has become a memory palace. So if if there is something, an idea that I want to develop, and I want to remember it and maybe talk about it, by situating the things in here, along these points, they're easier to remember because they make sense where they are. They have locations. And in fact, if I turn these, even, if I turn this point, say, into an image, right? Um, I'm just trying to think what, so if I put here as an image, I put the six-pointed star, right? The Star of David, interlacing triangles, and then I put a triangle in the middle of that, right? That would be an image that would be perhaps easier to remember than 3 plus 6. So when these points become images, then they come even more like a memory palace, because that's what a memory palace is you have these loci, these locations, and you have images there, and you travel along the path of the palace in order to remember these ideas in specific, these ideas. um, you travel along the path of to these locations to remember specific aspects of this topic. And the term, pictures, are worth 1,000 words. The right image will invoke a whole, a whole topic of discussion in itself. So that's basically it. This has been a kind of an overview of ancient Enneagram solutions and how the Enneagram can be used to organize your thinking and, help in disseminating ideas, speaking. A lot of creative expression can come through this, and it can also be used as a memory palace. I'm going to put this chart in the Facebook groups, the Wholeness Geeks Facebook group, the Gaia Core Facebook group, and the Welcome to the Shift Show Facebook group. Once again, Wholeness Geeks Facebook group, Gaia Core, that's GAIACORE, Gaia Core Facebook group, and the Welcome to the Shift Show Facebook group. So I'm Christopher McClure from Wholeness Geeks, and thanks for listening. And if you want to know more about the Enneagram, Ancient Enneagram Solutions, you can go to ancientenneagramsolutions.com and get a little more information there. You can contact me on that site. And you can also just email me at christophermacor@gmail.com. That's Christopher, MACOR, no dots or dashes, at gmail.com. So thanks for listening. I'll stop my share and have a good day. Bye now.